You are not prepared.
You are not prepared. Hey, what's everybody? I got, been a little bit since I logged in. I didn't play at all yesterday. Things were a little bit chaotic for me. I got a ton of sleep. I slept for like 15 hours. Like after that last stream, I slept like the rest of the day. And then I slept like the entire night. Like later on in that evening, like I slept until like the late afternoon, and then I like was awake and stuff, doing some writing and all that kind of stuff. I'm doing like a fun, interesting like period of like my writing right now, where I'm writing privately. And then I'm selecting what to use when like working with ChatGPT, rather than just opening up ChatGPT and writing directly into it, which obviously if that's how you need to write, and I'm saying you as in me, and that's when you need to write, less friction is better. Like, you should have as little friction with your writing process or your creation process, which all creation kind of, when it comes down to it, every time you're actually creating content, you're actually writing. Like, it all distills into the same like root process. Like, you're writing. You may not always start with literally handwriting or literally typing, but you are writing. And so I feel like writing is like the root human skill of communicating, which is what content creation is. You're communicating your ideas to be interpreted by either your future self or just to process it in that moment. But even then, it's like you're writing for your future self. Nothing is ever exactly at that moment. Like, you're writing it for that moment, but that moment is like a millisecond in the future. So it's like you're still doing it for the next sequence. But what I think what happens is that no matter what, you're writing and you're creating a way to organize your thoughts, and then you create it so that you can better relay those thoughts to be analyzed and absorbed, to be parsed by humans and potentially machines, usually actually machines. But I think that we need to adjust like how we see content, and I think this is healthy, and I think that's why so many people are afraid of AI, is because it's not that AI is replacing humans, it's that AI is forcing humans to accept that we're not reaching our full potential, that we're making excuses. Because for the longest time,
You got a like from me. Have a good
hey,
day.
what's up, drums and stuff? What's up? Yeah, I hope you have a good day too. I think what it is that humans are unwilling to accept that for most of human history, content creators have been able to kind of skate by with surface level ideas, with easily generated ideas using their skill as a writer. And now what AI is forcing us to contend with is that AI can do that part of the writing better. It can't do the things that truly matter, though. And I think that's really hard for a lot of people to understand. The fact that you see so many people visibly and viscerally upset about the existence of AI and how it might threaten the human creative endeavor, that itself should tell you how little AI matters. Because if AI was truly doing what... It's like ironic, right? If AI was truly taking over, people wouldn't be thinking critically about it. People
I am
wouldn't be
having
mentioning
hard-boiled eggs
AI.
for
People would
breakfast,
just
and
accept
I can
it.
fit 2 in my mouth at once.
Hard-boiled eggs? You can fit 2 in your mouth at once? That's a lot of eggs. Yeah, so I think like what we should learn from like what's happening in the world right now.
AI writes more creatively than humans.
AI writes more creatively than humans. I think that's a false statement. I think what people mean by creatively, I think that's what needs to change. Our definition of what creation is needs to change, because AI can do a specific type of creation way better than humans. But why are we placing our value on things that a machine can replace? We should be placing our value on the things that a machine can't replace. A machine can't exist in our personal bodies that we live and we inhabit. We interact with other human beings. We have different values. It can only take what already exists and it can filter it through a machine. If it doesn't exist in the data, it won't exist for the AI. Only humans can create new data. And we're already finding there's the shitification effect. It's not even like a technical problem. It's an inherent issue with its own existence. And that's a good thing, because it's not trying to replace humans. It's trying to augment our abilities as a tool. And so I think it's really important that people, the more you work with AI, the more you realize these things. Like, people are afraid of AI, and it's because they haven't sat down with one. You haven't sat down with ChatGPT trying to use it in the ways that you fear. If you actually try to use it in the ways that you fear, you will notice how
that this is not written by AI, so that we have a clear, truthful choice.
Yeah, that's a really important part in this moment. That is a trend. But true authors aren't trend chasers, and I'm thinking about the future. At some point, people are going to have to accept AI. It's inevitable. AI exists. It already does. To claim that we need to fight back against AI, that's a fruitless endeavor. You may as well fight against like the changing of the seasons. Okay, like, I mean, yeah, maybe we can do that. Maybe we can have like we can create a Dyson sphere and we can completely control our planet's temperature and our planet's weather. But like, are we close to doing that? Probably not. But I think it's important that we realize that right
now. Can't wait for Skynet.
Yeah, Skynet Brothers. Yeah, Skynet Brothers in chat. Let's go. Releasing our power to the AI overlords. Let's go. Accept our fate. No, it's not about that. It's about there is a reluctance in human beings to accept that trends are not permanent. Because right now, the buzzword, the marketing right now is that we need to differentiate our work from AI.
Jeff Bezos has stated that the future goal
AI.
is to have everyone rely on cloud computing, and no one owns their own PC will own nothing. Accepting AI will unfortunately come with giving up more rights.
Yeah, but then, the fact that humans are even complaining about this should be a good sign. That's what I'm talking about. If we truly lost, we would not even be having this discussion right now. Do you understand? Like, as long as at least one soul survives.
Yes, and it goes way beyond making us not think for ourselves, but the environmental consequences, and how marginalized communities are being impacted by nearby data centers.
I think that's a short-term issue. It is an issue.
Adam's
it's a
apple,
real issue.
Bass in the voice.
It's a real issue, but at the same time, it's actually not, because we're gonna fix those problems, right? Like, that's a temporary problem. It's just like when you first have something that's new, it's gonna come at a cost. We have an actual, real, tangible energy crisis. We have a real, tangible energy usage problem with AI. And I think what people don't realize is that those problems are temporary. I know that people don't like to think about this. Hey, Beth, yeah. I know people don't like to think about this, but the world is run by humans. And yeah, some humans want power, but I think people don't fully recognize that as long as something is in somebody's best interest, They will not do things that go against that. Maybe in the short term they will. People who are chasing power, who are chasing trends, are going to abuse that. But I think in the long run, this is what every human is going to have running as a process inside of themselves, no matter how many billions of dollars they have.
If you're new to rebeccaloran, be sure to hit that sub button and turn it to gray. Also hit that like button by double tapping y'all screen, please, and thank you.
We'll take Scrappy Gaming. Yeah, I'm doing my part. Thank you for doing your part. I'm doing my part. Those who know, right? So this is what I want to get at. As long as people, especially people in my chat right now, the fact that you're so angry about AI existing, hold on to that. Not the literal anger. Not the actual like implications, because those are all assumptions. But what I want you to hold on to is this reality that as long as people are actually emotionally impacted by the statement AI is replacing humans, ironically, you are not being replaced. You are not prepared. The beast within, how you doing? So, like, accept this. That's what it means to be human. Don't you understand that emotion you have? That is human, and AI can't replace that.
Unfortunately, morals aren't what corporations care about. They're obsessed with Mars and don't have a problem leaving Earth to shit and discarding it.
Yeah, but no, here's the thing, is that reality is going to hit them eventually. The reality is that we're all humans, and eventually scarcity is going to disappear. And it'll be open sourced by reality, not by corporations. Corporations will have to adapt. You have to understand that their bottom line is what matters. They don't care about morality. They don't care. You need to understand this. They don't care about what you care about. But what they care about is their bottom line. And if what you care about affects their bottom line, then they're going to care about it. Do you understand? Like, and as long as enough humans fight back with, this is what we want. We want a life where humans are prioritized, where civil rights are prioritized, where humans' abilities to navigate the world safely and peacefully is prioritized. As long as we need to put our money where our mouth is. We need to treat that as our bottom line. We need to accept that corporations aren't going to change. So we need to use them as a variable. If they're not going to change, we should treat it like nature. You know, we're not going to be able to change them. But what we can do is we can say, well, we're going to change the variables we can change. Prove it with our spending, right? If you're spending your money on things that go against who you are, then that's where you need to start. However, I actually don't think that a lot of the things people are worried about are actually what matters. I think that the things that truly matter, hate from Texas? I mean, what's wrong with Texas? It's not really the Texans. It's Texas as a political state. That's a different existence. Those are two different things. I think Texans as a people are amazing people. They're very like social, very like, organized around the community. I think that's always what matters. You should always think about like what people are. And you see the worst of people, and especially with social media, you see the absolute worst of people, and you think that's the norm when it's not. When if you go outside and you just exist without trying to prove a point, without trying to say, hey, look, I'm having my camera out here. I'm going to film all these people doing things. It's like, why don't you just go out there and live your life? Exist and talk to people.
You look like you genuinely care about people.
Like with a soul. Stop trying to prove people are bad. Like, stop trying to make people corner into a place where they can only prove to you what you expect them to.
I nutted
right?
in Renee Good's new face hole.
You nutted? I do care about people
your feelings
because I care about
you
myself.
Hear the name Trump?
It's all rooted in my bottom line. Everybody gets up in their feelings every time they hear anything.
So what I am getting is that we should shift this anger into hope.
That's what we are. We're humans.
The hope that is driven by anger. NGL, you kinda sound ignorant in some of your takes and even privileged.
Well, I mean, like,
Take
you're
'em
making
out.
a lot of assumptions about me, Nat. Like, I don't know what your issue is. Calm down. It sounds like you have an agenda and you're trying to push it on me. You're trying to bring whatever you're carrying with you into
That's
my
a dude.
chat, and that's cool. I like that. Hold on to that. That's what makes you human.
Is that?
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Let's play some World of Warcraft.
Are you a man or a woman?
I'm a woman. Proud of it. Proud vagina owner. Deal with it. Cry with it. Why don't you go cry in your pillow if you have a problem with my gender? You're just... I understand, right? People who are upset with, like, needing to categorize people into exactly what they need to be... You're upset with where you are in life, and you are alone and miserable.
Testicles.
And crying into a pillow about how alone and miserable you are. I have a vagina. Deal with it. Cry about it. You're just upset that you can't get laid. Like get the fuck off of me about it, you know? It's not my problem. It's your problem. Sounds like a you problem, buddy. Anyway, I'm happy and I love my life and I love my body. So I'm going to play some World of Warcraft. Prove it? I can't prove it on stream. I don't know what you want me to do.
Show me your girl balls.
The content's out there. I don't have girl balls. What the fuck? What even is that? What the hell is even that?
Did you transition?
Yeah, I spent about 6 years talking about it. You can go look through my past streams where I talk about it. But we're here right now in the present. Testicles. I mean, ResTuber really likes testicles. Let's talk about this. Do you guys know about this? Alright, let's get right into it. We need to farm some honor.
LMAO girl balls.
Did they change the honor yet? Let's actually go look. Let's go see what the prices are now. Girl balls.
LMAO,
That's gonna be.
Damn it,
We
I
need to make that into an
and
emote.
3 kids to get on then if I am supposed to be lonely. LMAO.
Tell my wife and 3 kids. Well, I mean, here it has nothing to do with your material reality. I think this is where people get upset with themselves and upset with their life and upset with other people. Because if you're upset about other people, you're really upset at yourself.
Honor prices remain the same, but honor gains are up.
Honor gains are up. That's good.
Show me them dirty girl balls.
Show me. We need girl balls to be an emote. We need to own this. Okay. Hey, look, we have a actual level 58, totally not boosted shaman. Hell yeah. We need more high level shamans.
So you're a dude. Sorry, man. Chopped your dick off. That's crazy.
Awesome.
That's
Thanks
a dude.
for being high level. That's a dude? You're a dude. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. You suck a fart straight from the tap? Let's calm down in chat, okay? You guys need to calm down about the girl balls, okay? Girl balls are, it needs to be an emote. You guys should work on that. You should use your creative energy in places that matter. Like making me emotes. Okay, if you truly want to be recognized and heard in this chat, put that energy into something creative.
Just to see what you had for dinner last night.
Fuck, dude. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I chopped my dick. Well, technically I didn't chop it off. A surgeon carefully and very meticulously based in like 90 years of research and advancements, a careful reconstruction of my genitals that would exist in a way that is almost identical to what would have happened if my chromosomes had told me to assign me female at birth. That is kind of more accurate than chop your dick off. Like, I don't know why people think that that's what's going on. It's not chopped off. Like, if I just chopped it off, that's a completely different surgery. Like, that's called emasculation.
Like if you sneezed, would your balls fall out, lols?
There are no balls. I got my balls... First of all, I had my testicle removed. I had my testicles removed in 2022.
Mutilation.
And then I had a vaginoplasty. Yeah, let's mutilate these people in chat by removing them from the chat. Are you trans is not a transphobic comment, so we're going to reply to it. Yes, I am transgender. And now the question really remains, why does that matter? I am who I am. I'm absolutely gorgeous. I'm beautiful. And that's all that matters. I am female. That's what matters. And anybody who doesn't agree, cry about it harder. Okay, well, I have enough Alterac Valley
Who cares?
Marks. Exactly. Who the fuck cares?
If you ban.
I buy and trade.
Well, I don't know why you're here then if you don't care. I mean, if you don't care so much, why are you talking about it? Right?
You're mad at jokes.
Why do you're assuming I'm mad. Like, you're assuming I'm mad. No, I just don't allow it in my chat. Because this is my place. Like, this is my energy. This is my stream. If you want to go talk that nonsense, go on Reddit. Okay, what the fuck is... Why is this guy not opening the... Why don't you go cry about it harder on Twitter or something? How come this guy isn't opening... Is the weapon quartermaster closed? What is going on here? Oh, no. Oh, the wrong weapon. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I need 15k. So I need like 5k more, right? And those are the... Yeah, that's the proper weapon I need. Yeah, hate has no home. Well, we do hate certain things, but like, that's just human, right? And it's like, it matters what our actions are, not what our feelings are. Well, I don't have a dong, so I'm sorry. We're gonna get our epic weapons. We're gonna get our wepic armor. We're gonna get our epic armor. I basically, I need my epic weapon, my two-hand, and I need my epic one-hand, and well, start with shield, and then get an epic one-hand. And then I need to put Crusader on them, which means I need to farm more gold. But we're farming honor right now, and I feel like that's a better use of our time than farming I mean, we do need Crusader. So at the very least, we need to farm enough gold to get Crusader. Once I get it. But right now, let's actually farm the weapon. So we're gonna go farm Alterac Valley, and we're gonna go get the honor so that we can get the weapon, and then we'll figure out the gold part. Because the gold part will eventually just happen. Like, you know, there's plenty of things we can do for gold. I can go fishing. Yeah. No, some people play Horde. See, I don't know. There's this like obsession with labeling people. I am a human first. My existence as a trans person. Did I get the gypsy sandals? Do all track? I guess I lost the auction. Okay, well that was understandable. It was probably outbid really quickly. I was trying to get those white sandals, the low level sandals, but I already am almost level 10 on my shaman, so I can use the level 10 white feet that I sent. So, and then level 11, I have a BOE with minor speed increase. So my shaman will be able to run faster. Okay, so let's, we have a lot of farming to do. Okay, we got 10k. Apparently they fixed the honor increase, so hopefully we can get it really quickly. Oh look, the shaman responded. I said, thanks for being high level, and the shaman said, you're welcome. Yeah, I know people are going to complain about boosters. We should want boosters. It means that more people are getting to high level, which means that they can get better faster. And I know people complain about it. They're like, oh, this noob, this booster. Get over it. You should look at the big picture. We're getting more players. That's what matters. Hey, Space Ducks! Yeah, happy birthday, me. Thank you, Space Ducks. Welcome back. Welcome back, Space Ducks. Oh my god, thank you. It's been a while since I've seen you here. Welcome back. We got some coffee. Okay, so yeah, nice. I got like a manual hand crank coffee grinder. It's pretty awesome. Like, I got some nice coffee beans, and I got some containers that have what's called airless technology. Basically, you push down a thing that pushes out all the air so that it maintains freshness. It's like a canister that, you can put any dry material in it. You could probably put wet material in it, but that probably defeats the whole... It's designed for dry, for dry things. Like, it's a container that has the ability, it's called airless, meaning that it pushes the air out rather than trying to make an airtight seal. It just has a mechanism to just let air escape but not go back in. That's like, and every time I open it, I can smell that fresh coffee bean. It's amazing. Anyway, I also got like a hand crank grinder that has adjustable coarseness. So like, that's actually pretty cool. These things weren't even they weren't even that expensive either. I like stuff that's not expensive, but I also like things that are good quality. So there's like a good middle ground, right? I also like things that don't require electricity, because it's like, I do have a kettle that has adjustable temperature control. So I can set it to like, higher temps for like coffee or lower temps for like green tea. 175 Fahrenheit is what I have for green tea. And depending on the coffee bean and depending on the grind, or generally I have 205 degrees Fahrenheit for coffee. And I have a pour over like reusable, like extremely fine mesh. I like reusable things. I do have coffee filters, but I prefer not using things that I have to throw away. So it's like
She coffee.
I like reusing things. It's not even about like the environment. Like, fuck the environment. No, it's more. It's more about, I like not having to go through extra steps. I like things that are sustainable. And sustainability creates, as a consequence, a better environment. So it's really important to understand that. So did they increase honor gains from... Let's just to test it, let's just queue on all three. Just because I want to get in really quickly. And I also want to test the honor gains. Are they actually getting better honor gains for HKs? Because,
50% more.
50% more? Well, that's good. We can just do some more Song Gulch here. I forgot to get sharpening stone. That's an oversight. After this, I'm gonna get some sharpening stones, because that's like a free damage increase without having to use a consumable. It's just it's just like a no-brainer, right? like maybe not an elemental sharpening stone. Those are like a little bit more expensive, extra crits. But I think having, well, I also need to respec after I get my two-hand sword because I'm spec to pole axe. Which I'm glad they combined axe and polearm because that's ridiculous that they did that. I'm going to respec to swords, to get that extra attack. Knifewing says, "Hey, Rebecca." Yeah, you know, haters gonna hate, but, you know, I just encourage people who have, like, this kind of need to go... Because I've been there. I've been this person who needs to go comment on other people. Like, I do it all. It's human nature. People do it. Accepting that that's human and not feeling shame about it does way more than any amount of, like, you know, self-hatred that like, you don't need to stop doing things that you love. But I think understanding that, like, certain things are just human nature and accepting it. There's a reason why you opened up YouTube to go into somebody's stream to talk about negatively about them. And I think accepting why you're doing that is the first step, because there has to be a reason. And it's usually internal. There's something that you're not dealing with. And I encourage you to explore that in your journaling. Like, open up a journal and start writing about it. Like, why do I feel this need to go into a streamer's chat and harass them? What is it that I'm not telling myself? What is it that I'm not allowing myself to discover about who I am? There's something that you're doing, like, well, that you're not doing.
Clip that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's put a marker in the stream. Marker, clip. Oh, marker, clip that. Okay, yeah. 32 minutes, 38 seconds. Okay, yeah. We need to get that on clip. We need to put that on YouTube Shorts. That's basically the thesis of my channel. There's something you're not exploring. Because I know this because I've gone through it. I've been there. I've been the commenter. I am the commenter. I am you. The reason you're saying these things is because you're mirroring me. You're doing the things that will lead you to understanding. Follow it. Now, it doesn't mean it's good that you're doing that. Because you're harming yourself, but you're also harassing people, which is just socially, like, damaging to your community. Because I am part of your community. We're all humans. We're all part of the community. There's no, like, you know, you're less valuable than me, you're more valuable. Like, nobody cares about that. You matter just by existing. And I think it's important to recognize that just because there's people who are acting nasty doesn't mean they're not valuable members of the community. They're potentially meaningful members of the community. They're potentially people that are going to give back to the community, maybe even more than we realize. I think it's really important to give people that opportunity because anybody can change who they are. There are people who, you know, rehabilitation can happen.
Have a good day.
Well, thank you, Enrique. I hope you have a great day too. Yeah, I this is pretty much a reason why I need to upgrade my gear. I need to get that epic weapon because I'm not even competing remotely in this capture the flag. Like I'm not even competing remotely. I guess remotely. But what I need to do sneaky boy.
Just because you say it, doesn't make it true. Home slice. You can't change everything. That's just wishful thinking. Your parents failed in raising you.
Sounds like your parents failed in raising you, buddy. Didn't teach you manners. Yeah. Cry harder, bitch. Get the fuck out of my channel. If you have a problem with me, go look at yourself harder. Do some soul searching. Go do some meditation. Go journal. You're not doing enough. You're failing. Yeah, I have analysis and experience and data to prove what I'm saying is true. I'm not just saying it. That's what people don't understand about me. I'm not just saying shit because I have the idea. I'm saying it based on practice. I'm saying it based on years of hard-earned data. Okay, like this is reality. This isn't me just saying it because I have a feeling or vibe. I'm saying things based on hard-learned experience, hard-won realities about myself. Jesus Christ, I fucking suck. God damn it, I'm a loser. Yeah, we need to not do Warsong Gulch or Arathi Basin right now, even though it looked like it was like taking for. I think I need to be patient. We need to get more Alterac Valleys, because that's going to be our best honor per hour. But I just wanted to give it a test to see if we could actually play some real PvP. We're not there yet. We don't have the gear for it, let alone the skill. But we can't have the skill won't make up for gear, you know. And then I'm not going to be able to. And ironically, I'm not going to be able to learn the skill if I don't even have the gear to actually properly compete. Because I'm just going to get like destroyed in 5 seconds by their weapons, right? So because they have better weapons than me, they have better armor than me. So it's like, you know, I need to actually get the gear. So we can't farm honor here. You know, you have no power here. Yeah, Horde's about to win. Yeah, I think also there's a lot of bots too. I think that's also really important because, you know, there's a lot of people who are going to be like really hateful, but they're not even people. They're just like some bot engagement farming because they think for some reason that that's important. They think for some reason that that's a valuable use of their time. When it's not, you're wasting your life. You think that buying some bot is gonna make your YouTube channel grow or some bullshit. You're a loser. You're a loser and you're always gonna be a loser as long as that's your attitude. Change your fucking life, dude. Anyway. Yeah, I think there's like a fundamental misunderstanding with Joe Mama's talking about trying to change everything. That's where you're wrong. You're already wrong. Everything else that you've determined based on that belief is already wrong. How am I supposed to take anything you say seriously when you're not even doing the bare minimum work to understand what I'm trying to say? You don't respect me. You don't understand anything that I'm trying to say. You're not truly giving me the benefit of respecting my intelligence, respecting my research, respecting my data. You're not doing any of that. So why should I take anything you say seriously? Because when somebody says something that's extremely based on whatever bullshit they're dealing with, instead of actually listening to who I am as a person and listening to the weight of my statements, instead of giving me the absolute worst, you're taking what I say and you're filtering it through what you think I'm trying to say, rather than listening to what I'm actually saying. Because you're going through a script. You're going through a list of things that you expect me to be saying, because first of all, being a trans person, it's an immediate flag to people that you're basing your opinion of me based on what you think I am rather than who I am. Because you're prejudiced. You're literally prejudging. You're seeing me as a label and not as an individual. Because you have had experiences where you've interacted with trans people and you think that we're a monolith and you think that we all think the same thing. And you think that every single experience of trans people on the internet or in real life is indicative of a pattern that is not there. There are realities we live with, but why don't you listen to what we're saying? Why don't you believe us? Instead of saying, oh, you're just making this up. That's what gaslighting is. You're telling me what's true when I already know what's true. You're trying to make a reason for you to be right and me to be wrong. And whenever you operate on that level, you've already lost.
What game is this?
This is World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade. On the Anniversary Realm Nightslayer. And we're doing some PvP. This is technically PvE, quote-unquote PvP. This is Alterac Valley. We're basically just farming honor here. We need to go do the objectives. We do the objectives and you win by beating the boss. And the other faction is trying to do the same. And whoever gets there first.
Is this World of Warcraft?
This is World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade. So this is a 40-player versus 40-player event called Alterac Valley. It's a battleground. And basically, it's a bunch of PvE, player versus environment, objectives, while simultaneously allowing PvP because it's two different factions. I play for the Alliance, and we are trying to get our objectives by burning down towers and... by burning down towers, we have to protect them to make sure they're not in conflict. So if the enemy faction comes in and tries to take us out before the tower has control, we need to be here to do that. Basically, we need to be present until it burns down, and that gives us an objective win. It gives us honor. So we're basically on the lookout to see if any horde comes in and tries to take it back, and they're doing the same thing. So we're on the way to the boss, and so we need to get these objectives and then we kill the boss. I gotta try this game out
someday.
Yeah, there's a free trial. Yeah, I think, like, you know, it's really telling. Oh shit, we need to... Oh, damn. Nope. That's the exit. Yeah, I think the reason why so many people feel threatened by the presence of transgender people is because our reality, our existence, threatens them. Because we're basically saying we aren't who we think we are. And that's an existential crisis for most people. You aren't who you think you are. You aren't who other people think you are. Like, look at the movie Fight Club. You aren't your job. You aren't your relationship. You aren't your marriage. You know, you aren't the things you own. You are something more. And that is like the main thesis of the movie Fight Club. And you need to think about it that way. And that's what trans people threaten. They threaten your carefully curated reality where you think you know who you are. But you aren't. And it's liberating. When you finally look at who you are, it's uncomfortable, but then you can do something about it. When you know you can finally do something about it, that gives you like a level of freedom you've never had before. When you finally know that your actions matter, that you can change who you are, that you, at a fundamental level, you can change even your body. You can change what your body looks like. You can change your body chemistry, your hormones. You can change these things. And people have a hard time accepting that because they want to think that they are the things they own. They want to think that, because it's easier. It's easier to accept that your reality is socially described and rather than internally described. Because it means that if you collect a lot of nice things, if you have a high-paying job, if you're respected in the community, then it makes you a more worthwhile person. But the reality is that you already have intrinsic worth. Now, what you do with that is up to you. You already have intrinsic worth. You don't need to prove anything. And that reality is terrifying. Because it means that nothing you do matters, but it matters. It clearly does. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so upset about it. Damn it. Well, at least we're farming a lot more honor than before. Like, we've already got a couple hundred. Before, you would get, like, 2 honor per kill, you know? Right, we almost got East Frostwolf Tower. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. We won. Yeah, and we just need to keep spamming that.
What's on your
I need 4K more. I think that's why people have such a hard time accepting trans people. It's because our existence threatens their beliefs that they are what society says you are, because that's a much more convenient truth rather than doing the internal work required to fully reach your potential. And you can see this in all aspects of life. This is why people always are looking on Reddit. For example, they're looking for shortcuts for things. They're looking for a video to watch. They're looking for some secret silver bullet. But here's the sad truth. I mean, not the sad truth. Here's the difficult truth. Is that there is no silver bullet. There is only action and results. There is only intention that leads to action, that leads to results, that leads to data, that leads to analysis, that leads to intention, that leads to, like, it's a circle, right? You can't have one without the other. People say, oh, you know, actions matter, but you can't have actions if you don't have data. And you can't have data if you don't have results. And you can't have results if you don't have action. And you can't have action if you don't make the intention. And that gathering of information, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? That is a huge part of the process, but we get lost in it. We collect data. We watch more YouTube videos. We say, how can I, optimize? How can I, and you're optimizing before you have data. You're optimizing before you've taken action. It's an iterative process. It's not that you don't do it. It's that you do one thing, you collect data, and then you take action. You collect the results, you analyze the results, and then it gives you new data. And then you know better on what you need to work on. And then you can actually say, okay, now that I know that these are the things I need to work on, I can filter out all this noise. And now I can collect the information that matters. And now you're going to be looking for YouTube videos that actually get you closer rather than just give you the idea of, oh, I'm doing something because I'm watching a video. That's the initial stage. That is not the end stage. But it is a stage, and it really is important. You're not going to cut it out. It exists for a reason. There's a reason why people do it. And dismissing it and saying that it's unimportant, that it's a waste of time, that is a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to be human. There is an evolutionary reason why we do the things we do. But they say an unexamined life is the only one not worth living. But the thing is even having an unexamined life, that's at least something you can work with. You need to look at where you are, look at what your needs are, and then make adjustments. And I think that's really hard for people to accept when they see trans people going through hormone therapy, going through surgeries. They have a hard time accepting that they can change who they are. It's a uniquely human problem, and it's fundamental to the entirety of the human race. And it's why for most of history, trans people have been misunderstood. So in some cultures, trans people have been not just accepted but revered, but in most cultures, especially modern culture, trans people have been othered. Trans people have been demonized and used as political fuel. But you have to understand why these politicians use it. They don't care about trans people. They don't care about what your beliefs on trans people are. They don't care about your religious beliefs. They don't care about any of that. Their bottom line is they want your support. They want your vote. And they know that you're going to care about that. And I think that wool over your eyes is preventing you from ridding yourself of these hateful beliefs. And you say they're not transphobic, you're saying they're not hateful, but if the result of your beliefs is that certain people get to have rights and others don't, then it's hateful. It is bigotry. And you have a hard time accepting that you're a bigoted person. You want to be a good person. That's good. Hold on to that. Hold on to that. But you can't have both, if your actions are dictated by hate, if your actions are dictated by a refusal to accept somebody else's reality as true, when you're not even doing the work to verify it, you're just spitting dogma. You're saying there's only two genders. You're saying there's only male and female and it's assigned at birth. That's an assumption that you're not analyzing. You're not questioning it. You're setting it as a truth without, just like as dogma. And it's like, that's not true. Nothing is inherently true. Honestly, gender is a construct made by humans in the first place. All that exists is that we have a reality that we live in and we can change it. And it doesn't really matter what you think, it's still true. I am still female, and I am still presenting as female, and I am still socially accepted as female, and your refusal to accept that is
There's
a
only
delusion.
2XY.
There's XX and XY. There's also more. You have a fundamental misunderstanding of biology. There is more than meets the eye. And the only reason why you refuse to accept that is because you have a hateful belief that trans people aren't real, that trans people don't deserve respect, that trans people deserve to be stomped on, ignored, harassed, and denied basic human rights. That's the only logical conclusion, because it doesn't even matter if you're correct or not. The fundamental truth is that I exist within our community, and I should be able to exist in the same kind of way that you do, which is with respect, with dignity. Your opinions don't matter. And it's not even true anyway. Honestly, my truth isn't even true. There is no such thing as objective truth. We are humans and we're born here, and our society is already based on untruthful things. We make shit up. That's what humans do. That's why we have cars. That's why we have the internet.
They are real, but biology speaks different.
Yeah, and who cares though? What's the implication? This is what I'm talking about. Who the fuck cares? What does it matter? It doesn't. It doesn't. You're insisting on it being true. You're insisting on it being like mattering. You're insisting on it being something that actually determines how you should treat me. Are you going to treat me like a monster, or are you going to treat me like a human? That's the real question. And you don't have to understand it. You don't have to even accept it. But like, the choice you have to make is, are you going to treat me like a human, or are you going to treat me like a monster? And like, that's the real question. And if you can't treat me like a human, then you have to accept that you're a bigot. You're a bigot.
I don't get why bigots are so obsessed with trans people. Let them live their lives. God, I cannot wait till his warrior gets deleted.
Yeah, I don't understand this about like, it's a constant pattern, and it's been going on infinitely looping for years, that people are not listening to reality. People are not listening to research. People are not even listening to human beings and their lived experience and the reality that I am human and I deserve dignity just like anyone else. Or maybe nobody deserves dignity, but we do it anyway. Because that's what it means to be human. It's part of being in a community. And, you know, you can't throw that back at me and say, oh, but shouldn't you respect my belief? If your belief is that I shouldn't be treated like a human being, then no. Fuck no, I'm not going to respect that. I can respect that you have a different opinion, but as soon as that opinion leaks over into how you treat me, I'm going to have an issue with it. Just like I would have an issue if you had a problem with black people existing. And the fact that you can't see that what you're doing is the same as that kind of bigotry is part of the problem. If enough people are calling you transphobic, maybe it's true. Accept it. If you're unwilling to accept that label, then do something about it. But you can't have both. You can have transphobic beliefs and also not be transphobic. Oh, I'm not transphobic. I just have these beliefs that undermine trans people's existence and undermine their rights to basic life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. But I'm not transphobic. You're lying to yourself. You're refusing to accept that you're a hateful person. You're refusing to accept that you do not want trans people to exist. And if that's how you think, then that's honestly, I respect that more than what you're trying to do, which is trying to pretend that you're not transphobic when you clearly are. Don't lie to yourself. I respect that much less. Ah, fuck. Just got mind controlled and thrown off the bridge. They're obsessed with us. They can't stop thinking about us. And like I said, the root cause, this is the uncomfortable truth that these people are afraid to accept about themselves. They're unwilling to look at their flaws. They're unwilling to accept that they can do something about their shitty life. They're unwilling to accept that they're responsible for their own misery, that they're responsible for their own failures. And sometimes they don't even know that they're failing. They think they're perfect. That's even scarier. They think that there's nothing wrong with them. If you think you're perfect, you've already failed. Like, humans are inherently flawed. It's not a flaw though. It's a feature. Like we analyze ourselves, we analyze our situation, and we try to make it better. That's in our genetic code. Male, female, that is in genetic code. We have biological reasons for having different encodings as male or female when we're born. But we also have the encoding that allows us to change our physical form. We change our reality. We have cars, we have airplanes, we have science. And part of that is body augmentation. The fact that we have vaccines, that's body augmentation. We are engineering our bodies from the beginning. The fact that we even have fire. Most creatures do not make fire. We do. We cultivate it. We have the ability to cultivate land. Most animals don't do that. We have the ability to modify our environment, modify our bodies, modify our reality. That's what we do. Trans people show that truth, and it makes people uncomfortable. Because you want to think that you're a biological animal. You are, but you also are biologically evolved to be able to adapt, to change your environment and to change your reality. And trans people are the 100% embodiment of that. That our gender is not fixed in whatever biology our body tells us. Our reality is not fixed. We have cars, we have airplanes, we have houses, we have taxes. The fact that we even have a society at all is because we modify things. We modify our reality. Ah, 1%. Oh, nice. The deep wounds got him. And people can complain about what I just said all they want. If you investigate what I'm saying, you will find it to be true. Look at all of human history. Look at the human accomplishments we've had. We are engineering ourselves, and it's not new. It's not a feature of technology getting out of control. Technology exists because we've created it. It is an extension of us. AI is an extension of us. It's LLMs are trained on human writing. It's trained on data that we created. It's a reflection of ourselves, and it makes people uncomfortable. So just like trans people, AI also makes people uncomfortable because it shows people a reflection of what is. and they don't want to accept it. But, you know, acceptance is the first step of actually being, and then we can actually change it. Because that's what humans do. We change things once we understand them. You're incomplete. That negativity you feel about yourself and about the world around you, you're incomplete. You lack investigation. You lack analysis. You're not there yet. And you're never going to be there. It's an infinite algorithm. And it's part of what makes life worth living. And it's what makes us alive. It gives us a reason to get out of bed, that there's always something more. There's always something unexplored. There's always something new. And all the things we do, it's just part of the bigger equation. Me playing this video game, it's not a distraction from life. It's a part of life. I am processing things as we speak. Not just because I'm streaming, not just because I'm talking. But even if I wasn't streaming right now and I was playing the game and I was completely invested in it, I was 100% focused on my gameplay, your brain doesn't stop working just because you're not actively thinking about things. In fact, that's a feature. Your brain processes information sometimes even deeper when you're not trying to. It has background processes. It's a feature. It's not a flaw. It is how our brains evolved. It needs to be able to process things without our trying, because if it didn't, we wouldn't survive. So if you're alive today, congratulations, you're the strongest human alive. Because as long as you're alive, you're proving that you deserve to be here. You're not a failure, you're a succeeder. You won by surviving. Because other species die out, but you haven't. Other people have died, you haven't. And it's not even their fault either all the time. There's so many factors. You don't know all the factors. Stop pretending to know all the factors. You could say it's one thing. It could be a million things. And it doesn't make somebody weak. And I think this insistence that somebody is weak simply because they don't believe the same things you do, like that's an inherent falsehood. There are so many factors you can't calculate. Don't even try. Not even AI can calculate it, and it's literally designed to be able to calculate data. Stronger, like in a superhuman fashion. It's stronger humans at pure calculation of data. But we actually don't even know if that's true or not, because what if humans actually are capable of analyzing data faster, but we don't really understand it the same way that we think we do. Like, we process it, and we dismiss all the things that are irrelevant. But the fact that we do that in the first place, and we're not even actively thinking about it, we're not even actively able to name it, that should tell us that our brains are processing it at probably even more superhuman of a level than AI. That we're able to distinguish what data actually matters without even knowing inherently why. That's because our brain is processing it without our conscious effort. Our brains are more powerful than we realize. And I think what AI is teaching us... Oh, thank you, Doppel. What AI is teaching us is that I think like people are afraid that AI is going to replace us. But I think it's a huge indicator that AI is not going to replace us. Because if it truly were going to replace us, we wouldn't even be asking these questions. Hey, water is liquid. We would not be asking these questions. We would not be angry about these things. We would not have emotional responses about the existence of AI potentially replacing us. Ironically, that proves that it's not going to replace us ever. Because if people are that emotionally triggered by AI existing, that itself is an indicator that it's not going to replace us. If it truly were going to replace us, we would not even realize it. We would not even care. We would not even notice it. It would have happened already. You're not being replaced. You're being shown a mirror. And what you do with it is up to you. It only mirrors back what you put into it. And if you put it into it garbage, it's going to spit out garbage. If you use it as a tool and you use it to direct your thinking, You're using it in a way that's going to strengthen you. You're using it as a mirror to reflect what you are, and you can look at it more objectively. And sometimes that's really uncomfortable. But truth doesn't care about your comfort. Facts don't care about your feelings. Okay? The truth is, trans people exist. We have always existed. And now we have more scientific processes to affirm and make our lives more meaningful through surgeries, through hormone replacement, through giving ourselves time. There's so much more to learn. There's so much trans people can offer society. Nice. Got him. I fell off. Yeah, the more I delve into how AI works, the more I work with, and I'm learning by doing, because I'm working with AI. I'm creating a project to analyze my handwriting so that I can have more ways to analyze my thinking. I'm analyzing my handwriting so I can transcribe it into digital format. And then I'm interacting with it and interrogating my own thinking. I'm using it as a reflective tool so that I can better understand my own thoughts. And the more I work with AI, the more I realize how we're not going anywhere. Humans are not going anywhere. We exist and we're not going anywhere. In fact, my understanding of AI, my work with AI is only further proving that. It's not making it weaker, it's making it stronger.
You are so positive.
I'm so positive. It's because I have a lot of... I've gone through a lot of negative thoughts. I've gone through a lot of emotions. I've processed them. I'm an examined life. This is what an examined life looks like. Somebody who is clearly, at some point you have to make decisions. You know, analysis by paralysis is a thing. You can see through my actions. Not even that I'm trans.
What W-work do you do with I?
I use it as an interrogation tool for my own thinking. I use it to, first of all, I use it to do menial tasks. Like I use it to take my handwriting and turn it into digital format through OCR. So like I have it, I'm kind of training it, quote unquote. I'm making protocols within ChatGPT with a project with a bunch of protocol files to have a system to invoke that changes the scope, because normally there's a global scope in ChatGPT, and when you make a project you create a more local scope. But within that local scope, I have an even more local scope that is narrowing it down to literally just the process of reading my handwriting and putting it into digital text. And then I make corrections, and then I have it make weights, quote unquote. Not real weights, they're just like, directive protocols. Because it's functionally the same, but I'm not training AI in the traditional sense because I don't have access to the model It is literally, controlled by OpenAI. But what I can do is I can make weights in the user space to tell it how to respond. And it's working pretty well. And I created a system that allows refinement by, I wrote a bunch of test data. I had to do a bunch of handwriting drills to have it, study my handwriting and create rules for transcribing so that it doesn't have as many errors. I want it to be faithful to what my handwriting says and not fill in the blanks, not try to edit it, not try to insert itself into it. And then when I'm done with that, I can discuss it when that's within that scope. And then I can exit the scope and talk about it from a global perspective. I talk to the AI a lot about how I think and about how I process things. And then I ask it questions to investigate my thinking. And a lot of people have a problem with that because they think that AI is going to ruin society. And my point that I'm trying to make is that a lot of people who are making these claims have not even attempted to work with AI. If you work with AI for any significant amount of time, you'll understand just through working with it that it's not going to replace us by any stretch of the imagination. It's only going to help us. It's just another tool. That's all it is. And it can be dangerous, but in the sense that anything can be dangerous. Surrounding yourself with people who only, creating echo chambers can also damage you. It can also protect you in a certain way. Sometimes having an echo chamber is good because it helps you understand your way of thinking. But it also requires a level of humility that understands that you are in an echo chamber. And you have to actually accept that you are if you want to not overcome it, but if you want to understand things from a more objective viewpoint, if you want to challenge your beliefs, you have to be able to step outside of that echo chamber as well. So in that sense, echo chambers already existed. And AI is just a supercharged artificial version of that. That's the only difference. It's not something new. It's something that's existed since the beginning of human society. People have had AI way before AI existed. When people say AI, what they really mean when they're talking about the dangers of AI is they're afraid of echo chambers. They're afraid of offloading our thinking. They're afraid of these kind of things. These things existed well before AI. They existed for thousands of years. People like kings and leaders and all sorts of people like that would have people in their circle that would just feed them information that they wanted to hear. That leads them susceptible to manipulation. It leads them susceptible to making mistakes. And then they have to pay the price. So that's like the problem that is happening with AI.
No blue-collar job will be replaced.
That's true too. And even if like robots replace it, somebody has to build the robots, like create how they work. They have to maintain the code. AI can't take care of itself. If an AGI starts happening, somebody has to still oversee the AGI to make sure that it's acting in humans' best interest. Because a human is a human and an AI is an AI. That will never change, no matter how advanced AI becomes. Even if AI becomes sentient, it'll still be a different species. Even if it's like sentient and it has its own consciousness, and all that kind of stuff, it will still not be human. And we need to think, if we're going to use tools to make human, to fit our human model of existence, the fact that we created it in the first place, it's already built in our image. We trained it on our own information. We trained it on our own data, our own way of thinking. It's already a reflection of who we are. And it's no different, and it can be dangerous, but like, so can a hammer. So can a drill.
Supply chain logistics, creative sales jobs are safe.
Yeah, everything is safe. Now, the only thing that's not safe are extremely low quality effort, like creative output, because AI can, create low quality creative output insanely fast, infinitely. But why should you be doing that?
Blue-collar jobs will be replaced. Factory jobs like at Amazon, picking up an item, putting it in a box, is already getting replaced.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff is getting replaced by robots and AI 100%. But humans will adapt. Why are you putting those kind of work as your identity? You shouldn't be wanting to do that kind of work. Humans should be doing different work. We need to be doing what humans are good at. We need to be maximizing our human effort. Finding what that is. That should be our first task. And that's why we need to inspect ourselves. Inspect our identity. Inspect who we are as people. The work of philosophy. The things that people have been doing for thousands of years. The ancient Greeks. Socrates. Plato. Demosthenes. Kant.
Love you.
Hey, instead. Love you too. The work that humans do is the same work that we've been doing for thousands of years. Which is trying to understand who we are and why we're here.
Manpower handling jobs are secure, cause blue-collar people find bugs in applications to track them, and if there are no human to track, companies will face huge loss.
Yeah, people will adapt. The job will change. Humans are not going to be replaced. Tasks are going to be replaced. And we can redelegate human tasks. You can say, hey, like, instead of you spending 8 hours a day doing menial labor, how about you spend 8 hours a day, like, you know, making better use of your time by inspecting the quality of that labor.
People destroy delivery robots and steal the item.
Yeah, exactly. People are just going to take baseball bats or whatever and destroy delivery robots. And destroying property is a much less harsh punishment than hurting a living, breathing human. Okay? Humans have more rights than machines. Okay? And so there's much more social repercussions for doing those kind of things to a human than there are. Like, people are not going to be as harsh. You know, people already are pretty harsh to humans, and that's pretty bad. But it's less likely to happen. That's like the important part to remember. You're not going to solve 100% of the world's problems. And I feel like a lot of people have this issue where they think that things need to be 100% solved in order for them to matter. And it's like, no, you can get part of the way there. That's fine. You're never going to be perfect. And I don't know why people think that we have to be perfect before we take action. And the same with creativity. Like, as a writer, if I never even put pen to paper because I'm afraid that I'm not good enough, then I'm never going to put pen to paper. Plain and simple. And so basically by putting pen to paper, I'm already taking action. I'm already writing down my thoughts. And when you're writing them down, it means that you can work with it. And the work isn't finished, but at least you're starting. And you're doing something that's required, which is putting down your thoughts into a medium that can exist outside of yourself. Just like AI, you're basically putting it in the same functional realm. It's an external thing that is no longer a part of you. And that's good, because it means that you can focus your attention on more important things. It doesn't mean they're not important, and I think this all or nothing thinking is what led us to these problems we have in our world. People think that there's either one thing, and that if you have one thing, it means that the other things aren't allowed to exist. You can have so many things existing simultaneously.
I will replace software developers, but what will AI do if I hack the API?
Exactly. Humans are going to hack the API, change it. And what if an AI gets changed and it's unable to assess itself anymore properly because it's been hacked? So that means that humans need to oversee it to make sure that that doesn't happen. And you're not going to stop it from happening, but you can minimize it. And you can also be able to fix it once it happens. Fail-safes. Humans are always going to be necessary. And this insistence that like AI is somehow going to replace us, you're focusing on the wrong problems. Stop thinking that AI is going to replace you. Instead, focus on your energy on what you need to do. Because there's so many things you can still do, even if AI were to technically replace us, even if that were hypothetically even remotely true. Well, what is complaining about it going to solve? It's not going to do anything. It's only going to make you feel miserable, and you're going to hate yourself, and you're going to hate your life. Focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. Yeah, determine where your weaknesses are and what your strengths are. But, you know, like, if you're doing that at all, you're already succeeding. Because in the end of the day, even if you're an artist, you're a writer, you're a drawer, you're a digital artist, you're a physical artist, whatever. You are not going to be replaced, because even if you were, it's still just another piece of art that exists, and it has nothing to do with you. You should focus on your own shit. Focus on your own work. You're not trying to compete with AI. It exists. In the same way, you're not trying to compete with other people either. Yeah, there is a market, but that's always been the case. And AI is just another factor. It's just another part of the market. You're not competing with AI, you're competing with things that already existed, which were other products that are not yours. And you should focus on making your product better rather than complaining about how much competition there is. Because even if it's true, which some of it is, I'm not saying it's not true, even if it were 100% true, the only thing that matters is what you're doing. What are you doing to improve your product?
Cause humans are creative and AI is just robot. They are good at following commands and solve existing problems the way it is solved already. It can't solve any new problem.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it can, like, create new insights, which can help us solve problems. It might bring things to light that we didn't know existed. That's the potential for it to be advantageous for us. It can show us things that we might not even be aware of. Because it thinks in a different way, because it computes things in a different way, and in some ways, significantly faster. But also, we don't know what the limits of the human mind are. Our science has not completely understood how our brain works. AI might only be like 1/1,000,000th of what human potential is. Like, the machine, it looks faster. What if we are already faster? What if we have always been faster? What if machines are only a fraction of our power? People don't always consider that. It can do certain things with the appearance and give it the appearance of more efficiency. It can give the appearance of faster, but that's only, there's multiple things to consider in what actually qualifies high quality. Because we can look at the technical speed. It can calculate numbers.
It can be better than average humans, not better than elite thinker.
Yeah, that too. But also, yeah, it can crunch numbers faster. But also, humans can crunch numbers, but we just choose not to spend our time and energy on it. We could train our brains to crunch numbers. There are some humans who can crunch numbers like a machine. We call them savants. We call them certain parts of the autism spectrum. Yeah, I don't think that's inherent. I think that's just we're programmed in much the same way machines are. But we don't really think about it that way, and we think that it's like being autistic or something somehow makes us different. But I think being autistic is just our brain is wired differently from the start, and it's just a different wiring. But we still have the fundamental same brain. I'm autistic, but my brain is wired differently. My brain is wired differently, but it's still
Google
a brain.
Project Manager here. AI is a useful tool, but cannot replace human interaction.
Yeah, and this is kind of this is kind of my thesis here, is that the more you actually work with AI instead of complaining about it, the more you realize how laughable it is to think that AI will replace humans. If anything, the more we work with AI, the more it's proving how much of a tool it is and how little of a replacement it is. And we have to adapt and be willing to accept our limitations and also willing to accept our strengths, because sometimes it's hard to accept our strengths. It's hard for us we feel like if we accept that we're strong, that it's going to make us complacent. Accepting that you are strong is not a failure. It doesn't make you lazy. It doesn't make, like, accepting greatness is only...
And God will bless humans, not AI.
Yeah, exactly. Like, AI is just a machine. If there is a God or a higher being of some sort, which I'm not fully willing to accept doesn't exist, I mean, there has to be something that's beyond our understanding. Like, we don't understand the universe. We don't understand why we're here. We might never understand that. Why is AI here? Why have we created it? There must be a reason. There's an evolutionary reason. And where does that evolution come from? You know, it comes from randomness in the code, but where does the code come from? You know, it existed. We have the like the Big Bang, but what came before the Big Bang? You know, like what created the Big Bang? There's something out there that we don't understand. And I think to, like, you know, discount that is ignorance. Just as much as insisting there's some, you know, Zeus-like figure in the sky watching over humans, I think that's also short-sighted. Why would God exist as a human? That's our own limited understanding of the universe. If there is a God, it's not going to be anything like us. You know, either that or the nature of existence is what we call human. And every being in the universe is created that way. But we just take a different form.
The reason for AI is capitalism. Money drives everything. In AI's sense, it is for efficiency and labor cost reduction.
Yeah, and that's like the only reason you should feel threatened is if you're already complacent. And if you're all and those people were already going to be replaced, even if AI never existed. Those people are always the lowest quality. And they're always the people that get replaced.
Hi, Sir Robert. Do you have any job openings at your project?
Yeah, it looks like Water is Liquid is networking, trying to get a job. People trying to get a job in my chat. Jeez. Good luck, Water is Liquid. I hope you get a job. I'm encouraging you to keep fighting for your improvement. I hope you get what you're looking for. Alright, 2.5k away from our first epic. But then I need Crusader, so I need to farm like 25 gold.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Oh, there's going to be a 1 hour maintenance in an hour? I guess we're playing till then. I need to go fishing for some gold later. Yeah, maybe I should go to the main boss group this time instead of sticking around the towers too long. Like, let's stick with the main group this time. Or we'll see what happens if that changes.
Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. Hey, Mitz. How are you doing? We're just farming honor. That's what we're doing. And we're talking about existential crises. Because, I mean, it all started with, every time I start my stream, and this is probably a good sign that I'm getting out there, you're always going to have haters. And as a trans woman, I invite a certain kind of hate, unfortunately. But it reveals something to me, which is that I think the reason why trans people invoke so much hatred in people is because they really hate themselves. Because we show people that reality can be changed, that our body can be changed, that we can decide who we are. And they're afraid of that because it means that they're afraid to examine themselves. They're afraid to understand themselves. They see us being happy and changing who we are and loving our bodies, and that makes them mad. It's the same reason why when people see attractive people, they think that it's like somehow a bad thing for them to get attention. That, models and actors who are attractive, people are worried. It's like, I don't think, I think, there's room for everybody. I don't really think that there should be some kind of like, oh, if you're ugly, you shouldn't, be, like whatever. But it's just, I think what it does is like, when I see somebody who's doing better than me, I don't get mad at the person. I look at what they're doing that I'm not doing, and then I try to adjust my approach so I can do better. That's what a healthy person does. What a lot of people do is they see somebody who's happy, they see somebody who's taking action, and they're saying, oh, well, you're not allowed to do that because then I have to admit that I'm lazy. Then I have to admit that I'm not doing enough. I have to admit that I'm failing. And they don't want to do that. They want to think that everybody else is the problem and that they're perfect the way they are. Because it means they don't have to work as hard as they should. They want everything handed to them. They want to live their life without examining who they are. They want the easy way. But life isn't easy. It's never been easy. It's always been difficult. It's never been cookie cutter straightforward. Okay, that's a lie people tell themselves, based on what makes them comfortable. And I think that unwillingness to accept reality is why people hate trans people. Because we show people the real reality is that life is more complicated than we think it is, and our reality can be changed if we take action. And we've always done that. It's not even just about gender or gender expression or biology or anything like anatomy. It's not about that. Humans have always done this. We create vehicles, we create systems, we create agriculture, this is what humans have been doing for thousands of years. And trans people, transgender medicine has been around for about 90 years, since the 1930s. And it got cut short by a certain hateful fascist regime. And as a consequence of an overall, terrible event, it was part of it. And, a lot of gender clinics were shut down, which is unfortunately what this current administration is trying to do. But I think the important part to remember is that more people are seeing the truth. That trans people are a natural part of human existence. We have always been here. And the fact that we even have been researching it for 90 years should tell you that we exist for a reason. And right now, that reason might be to show people what we really are, which is a dynamic species that changes things when they aren't working. That's the fundamental truth that trans people show. It's not about gender. It's not about ideology. It's not about biology. It is literally that fundamental truth. If things aren't working, we change it. That's what humans do. It's what we have always done. It's why we have this country of the United States of America, because what we had was not working. We had an imperialist nation creating a colony and overseeing our day-to-day lives. And so we were tired of it, paying taxes to a country that isn't even, living here, that's just occupying this space. And we set our independence. We said no more. We're going to throw all that tea into the ocean. We're not going to pay taxes on tea anymore. We're going to be our own independent nation. And that's why we have our nation in the first place, is because we saw something that wasn't working and we changed it. It's not natural. It's created. Humans created it. Nothing we do is natural, but it is a natural part of our core nature. If something isn't working, we change it. Simple as that. And so for me, my identity was not aligned with my body, and so I took hormones. I changed my pronouns and my name legally because that made life easier to navigate, because I felt really uncomfortable being told I'm something I'm not. And then I changed my body to make that even less, to create less friction. You might disagree with that, but whatever. It made my life objectively better and less painful, making it easier for people to see who I am. I have no good jobs.
I am from Louisiana, so my projects involve food service or petro industry.
Oh, what am I doing? I accidentally thought we pulled. There we go. Nice, 13k. 2k left.
What can I do for you?
Let me go microwave my coffee. It's getting cold. Bar spray? Farscape? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, oh my god, Farscape! Oh my god. I'm loving that show. I just started watching it. But, you know, I love sci-fi shows like Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, you know, Voyager, Enterprise. I was watching, I don't know, all these shows. I think the reason why we like shows like this is because of those things that I was talking about how we have a lack of knowledge about our human experience, and we're constantly investigating it. We're constantly looking at like why we do the things we do. Why do we want to go out into space? Why do we want to go to Mars? Why do we push ourselves to push ourselves beyond what we are? Why do we go out and work out? Why do we go running? Why do we swim? Why do we try to push ourselves? And I think that like this is why trans people are just a natural part of the human experience, because we see something that is incongruent with our experience as humans, and we want something better for ourselves. So I worked at it. I spent 5 years of my life, after 13 years of just kind of floating around and living in denial. I spent 5 years of dedicated effort to get started on hormones, do the legal name and gender change, start to get surgeries. I got on wait lists. I had orchiectomy. And then a year later, I had facial feminization surgery. And then a year later, I had vaginoplasty. And now I'm done. And so, like, I think the important part to remember is that at no time was I okay with not taking action. My entire identity hinged on me being able to keep fighting, keep pursuing these goals. And there's a fundamental evolutionary reason why. And people are so fixated on biology because they're limited in their thinking. They think that the only possible reason for our evolution is to give birth, to procreate. But we also create things in our mind. We create things that outlive us, not just biologically, but in society. We create it, we invent things. We work with science. We evolve. So everything that I do on this planet, even though I can't procreate biologically, well, first of all, that might change in the future. We might be able to modify humans to be able to overcome that problem. I'm not counting on it. I don't want to have kids, so that's never been a priority for me. For some people, it's a priority, and that's just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But to insist that every single person have the same beliefs as you, that everybody has the same priorities as you. There are people who think that I'm selfish for not wanting kids. Like, we're not rabbits. We're not cockroaches. We're not like some creature functioning only on instinct. We're human beings. We modify ourselves. We modify our bodies. We modify our life. We are modifiers. We change things to match what our needs are. That is the fundamental human experience. And I think people are afraid to accept that, which is why trans people get a lot of hate. And, I see it as empowering. Because it means that I'm doing something right. Like, if I'm causing people to have existential crises just by existing, it might be uncomfortable for them, and it's a little uncomfortable for me, but it's getting better over time. That's why I got all my surgeries. It makes it less likely to happen. Most people are probably not even going to think about my gender, even if they know I'm trans. Like, they've already done the work to be confident in their own lives. They don't care what I'm doing. They shouldn't. I shouldn't care about other people either. Golden cum. I don't know, maybe there will come a time where I don't really feel like I need to talk about this so much, but the fact that it keeps happening, some of that is just because these people come into my chat and they introduce this topic against my will. Whatever, that's their problem. But I think avoiding it is a choice, and I don't always want to make that choice. And people say, oh, just ignore them, just block them. Like, yeah, I'm going to do that. But I'm also, there's a reason. I feel like there's something that can be gained from it. And if it's so preoccupied in my mind, there must be a reason. And I have to make at a certain point, I have to make decisions. Like, do I want to spend my time and energy on this? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes it's better if I just let it go. Sometimes it's better if I just change the topic. If I say, get the fuck out of here, let's change the topic. That's fine too. But in the end of the day, I'm the one responsible for my day-to-day experience. I'm the one who started this stream. I'm the one who's running this stream. And I'm deciding what stays and what goes. And you could say it's good, you could say it's bad. I mean, whatever. That's a matter of opinion. Yeah, I'm entering into a period of time with my creative energy where I'm journaling a lot more. And I think that, like, my goal right now is not to publish. I think trying to do so this early would be a mistake, because I'm not writing nearly as much as I need to be in order to get to the point where I can go through my writing and select what needs to stick for a published work. That's a separate endeavor. And right now I don't have the energy, and I need to accept that. I have a very real problem with my environment right now that is actively being changed. I have people working on it. I'm going to hear back from them pretty soon. If not next week, then the week after. As soon as things start to move forward, things will start moving forward. And when it happens, it's probably going to happen faster than I realize. They're finding me a home, a mentor home, FHA. They're finding me a home. They're finding me a place to exist, a place to live, to be free, so that I don't have to be held back by the situation anymore, that I don't have to constantly be in a state of survival, constantly taking all my energy away from what I truly want to achieve. And when I'm able to finally have just even having a dedicated writing desk and not have to rely on using the same exact desk for gaming and for watching TV shows and for leisure as the same place that I do my work. Those are two different things, and they compete with each other, and they take away my energy. And as long as I have that survival, and I'm living in filth, I'm living in constant stress and anxiety, it's raising my cortisol levels. It's all my creative energy is being tanked. Okay? And it's because of my living environment. And it's not an excuse, it's just fact. And I have fought hard to try to ignore it, but accepting it is part of I can't be doing the things that require energy when I don't have that energy. And so the energy I do have, where can I put my energy? I can put my energy in output, because I'm going to be able to have that energy later on, where I'm able to sit down and deliberately go through my writing to curate it for a functional, publishable artifact for my blog. And I want to be able to do that daily. But until I've established a daily writing ritual of output, pure output, how am I supposed to do that anyway? So I may as well focus on that part, because I'm going to have to do that regardless. And right now, everything's kind of loose. And I need to develop a strong daily habit of sitting down at the desk, opening my notebook, and getting my fountain pen and writing whatever thoughts happen. And not trying to think about publishing, because ironically, the more I think about it, the less likely it is to happen, because I'm limiting myself. I'm limiting my thinking. I'm trying to only write good writing. when I should be thinking about just writing, getting it on the page. I should be thinking about that as the primary driving factor. Nice. All right. A little bit more than 1K left. Maybe 1 or 2 runs. 150%. They raised it. Yeah, honestly, interestingly enough, World of Warcraft, it's like the developers, it's part of the game. That the community comes together and says, we're not getting enough honor. And enough people fight. And the devs respond. And people say, why should we have to do that? It's like, that's part of the game. Like, that is the meta of the game. Like, people come together as a community. And they say, this is what we need. This is why we have Classic at all. And why Classic Plus is most likely going to happen. Because the community comes together and says, this is what we want. We're the ones paying with our money. With our time. With our effort. This is what we want. And I think the developers are starting to get that. That it's in their best interest. They'll make more money if they give us options. If they give us things that are actually meaningful. They're not going to give us everything, but there is going to be a conversation. There is going to be a compromise. The fact that we are even playing on the Burning Crusade right now, and the fact that we're even on a Classic realm at all, that should be an indicator that there's much more to the game than just the game itself. The game exists outside of the game. It exists in the community. And I think that's like a really important realization. Like, World of Warcraft is real. It's a real thing. There is a community. Every single person, hopefully, is a real person sitting behind a computer. They are actively engaged. They are real people pursuing their goals. And that's meaningful no matter what you might think about it. It matters. At this moment, for this very limited, narrow purpose of getting enjoyment from the game, even if you disagree with it, those reasons matter. Because it's their time. It's their energy. They're taking time out of their lives to play this game. And that matters. It doesn't matter if you think it should matter or not. You can think they're losers. You can think they're wasting their time. That's not up to you. That's up to them. And honestly, I think it's even worse to care about what other people do with their time than it is to actually, quote unquote, waste time. Ah, I'm not in my mount. Lock it in, boys. Bolts and hose. Cletus. Oh shit. Alright. What do you want anyway? Yeah, like even like keeping a few members away from the objective is like delays the progress for them. So it's like, which makes it like gives us more time to obtain our objectives. Vegan. What's happening?
See you soon. Great to meet you. Be good.
Yeah, it's good that they finally made it like a dedicated PvP room. There are issues like people. There's a quest out there, like you can see that Lady Onyxia right there. There's a quest where she spawns a whole bunch of monsters, and they can actually kill you, even if you're not in like doing that quest. I don't know why they thought that that was a good thing to do. This seems way more reasonable, but it only exists because, you know, the developers created the data. Collected the data and said, oh, this is like affecting a lot of players. So when they originally made Burning Crusade, I don't know for sure if they did this, but they probably changed this in the original Burning Crusade specifically to do that. While Thrall was liberating his brethren in Lordaeron, Ner'zhul continued to build up his power base in Northrend. A great citadel was erected above the ice-crowned glacier and manned by the glowing legions of the dead. Yet as the Lich King extended his influence over the land, one shadowy empire stood against his power. The ancient subterranean kingdom of Azul-Narub, which had been founded by a race of sinister humanoid spiders, sent their elite warrior guard to attack Icecrown and end the Lich King's mad bid for dominance. Much to his frustration, Ner'zhul found that the evil Nerubians were immune not only to the plague, but to his telepathic domination as well. Oh shit, lore. Okay, hopefully this is the run, hopefully, that will get us to our first epic weapon. We got 14.759k, okay?
Are you a dude?
Nope. Who's quitting 2 weeks in? Says YRM's lol. I'm playing the entire expansion. I'm also like gonna make sure to get to the point where I'm not just playing warrior, I'm playing my alts. Like we're going extreme. Okay, we're going all the way. We're going full dedication mode, okay? This is the only game I play I'm gonna put all my energy into my enjoyment. Which means I'm gonna help other people. Means I'm not only gonna play warrior, I'm also gonna play paladin. I'm also gonna play shaman. I'm also gonna play priest. Okay? 2 tanks, 2 healers. I wanna have options for raids. Nice, got him before I died. Oh, that's the sword I'm gonna be getting. Yeah, and you know, like, I think even without Crusader, like, that weapon is just significantly stronger. So I could go... I'm gonna go farm to go get Crusader as soon as I get it. Might be able to just farm, you know, humanoids, but, or actually, no, I think it might even be better if I farm skinning. Or I don't know. I mean, I'm also gonna need rune cloth, so I may as well go farm, like... Go farm plague lands. Well, I got 15k. I think that's how much it costs, right? I think it costs more than 15k. I will follow you, brother. Ew. Brother, ew. What's that, brother? Ew. Brother, ew. What's that, brother? What's that? Brother, ew. Ew. Brother, ew. Why are you gay? How are you gay? Okay, well that sucked. I have enough for my weapon though, right? 15k? Hopefully I don't need more. Cause I'm running. Yeah, 53.9 damage. Even with Crusader, like I think it's like 77 DPS, so it's like significantly higher, even without Crusader.
What did you?
15 point. Oh, I need 870. Oh man. I'm done. I need more. Need more.
Alright,
Need at
then.
least like probably one more run. Bruce Banner. The Hulk. Ah, yeah, stretching that neck. Nightslayer. True. All that layering. This isn't Nightslayer, this is Nightslayer. Praying for you. Aw. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you so much. Super toasty. People have funny names, man. Mohitar. Mojito. Mimosas.
What's on your mind?
Well, you need to do more. 15. I need 700 more, or like 753, or 783. Excuse me. Oh wait, no, 870. So that's plus 700 plus 53. So I need 753. Honor.
Safe travels.
I think I need to update my add-ons. Forgot to check. Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Where you from?
I'm from California. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area game show. How are you doing this morning? I hope you're doing okay. Hope you're having a great morning. I'm having my coffee. Warming up some honor. Just like everyone else. And for some reason, this like chat window keeps moving.
Looks like Nightslayer realm.
Yep, we're in Nightslayer, playing the Burning Crusade on the Anniversary Realm. Nightslayer. And I am trying to upgrade this abominable weapon, Ice Barb Spear. It's a great weapon. It served me well, but we are about 763 XP, honor away from getting our new weapon. The epic weapon from PvP. Getting my two-hand sword. I also need to like skill up. My two-hand sword is like under-leveled. So I'm gonna have to farm 20 to 30 gold. And I can probably do that by just farming undead in Plagueland, in Western Plagueland, or Eastern Plagueland. Probably Western Plagueland, faster kills. And also because I need to skill up like by 150 on two-handed swords. I also need to farm the gold for respec
Grand
as well.
Marshal Claymore.
Yeah, the Grand Marshal Claymore. I need to respec. And also, I think I also need to respec in general anyway, because I might not have the best talents for level 60. I was looking at the level 70 talent tree, and I may need to get different talent order before, for level 60. Or maybe it's fine, but either way, I need to respec from poleaxe to sword spec when I get the Grand Marshal Claymore. So. It's gonna be sick. We got a long road ahead of us. We're not trying to get it all in one day, but I do have a path forward, and I'm loving the game. I'm loving the experience. I'm loving the grind. I have real goals, and we're gonna push for those goals. I may suck right now, but we're gonna get to the top. We're gonna become Gladiator. Okay? That's our goal. We're gonna do it. But it's gonna take time and effort, and a lot of research, and that's all part of it, right? That's all part of the game. And just like in real life, you're not going to be perfect right away. But at least, you're going to pursue the betterment of yourself. And in the same way as in game, I'm going to do that in my personal life. And I have been. It's not something new. This isn't like a revelation. This is something that has been ongoing. And recognizing it is part of the movement forward. Recognizing that your efforts matter. Recognizing that you have already been doing the things that you aspire to. And not accusing myself of being a failure. Not accusing myself of not doing enough. I am doing more than enough. And I don't need to prove myself to anybody. Especially myself. But it is a worthwhile goal, and it is part of it. And it's not wrong. It's just part of the game. So we got places to go, Upgrade this bullshit shitty gear. Let's get some rank 14 gear or whatever. So that also we can have some fun. Actually learn how to PvP better. And start doing some Warsong Gulch in Arathi Basin instead of just farming Alterac. With the gear, I can actually have a chance with Warsong Gulch and stuff. And also, I'm not doing too well here in Alterac Valley either. Not without the gear. I need to actually learn how to play, but I'm not going to be able to do that if I don't have the gear. The gear is the bare minimum of entry, to be able to learn how to play. Without the gear, I'm gonna die too fast, and I'm not gonna learn how to actually play. There's no competition. It's just It's just dying. That's not playing, that's just dying. Ah! Look at all that horde. Okay, we can get that bunker. Oh, I also forgot to get sharpening stone. I've been doing that the whole time. For like the past 2.5 hours, I've forgotten to get the sharpening stone. I said I was gonna get it 2.5 hours ago. We've been farming without sharpening stone. Get disconnected? What's going on? Wait, is the server is the maintenance happening? Oh no, the maintenance. Oh no, we got like an hour. Well, that sucks. Well, I guess that that happened. Yeah. Well, it's okay. Yeah, I think we talked about a lot today, and I think it's important to know that, like, no matter like where we think we are, like we're inherently wrong. Like, we don't have all the answers. You know, we don't know what it means to be human fully. That is actually part of the exploration, is like discovering who we are is like part of it. It's not like the whole answer. I think people always have this need to like put things into neat little packages, and to putting it into like, this is what it means to be human, and like there is no other further, you know, this is what you need to learn how to do. It's like, no, you're giving too many restrictions. And yeah, like, you learn more insight when you have restrictions, but also you're cutting yourself off from further deeper truths. Whenever you say, this is the only way to exist. This is the only proper way. This is, you know, there is no proper way. The only wrong way to exist is to not exist. Because that is fundamentally like required. In order to exist, you must exist. That is like the one fundamental truth of existence. Is like, to be human, you have to be a human. Like, that's like, that's now what it means to be a human, that's something that could be discussed, and you know, I don't think there's like truly any wrong answers. I think the only real wrong answer is to not try. And even then, that's not wrong, because sometimes you're going to be in states of existence where you're not really fully trying. Sometimes you're going to be in states of existence where you're resting. You're trying to find a new balance. You're trying to find like what needs to be done to give you more energy. And that itself is like another pursuit of humanity, is trying to find when you need to step back. Because you're not always going to be like super full charge, like, I need to better myself, I need to improve my life, like, you're gonna run out of energy. Sometimes you need to lie down, which is what we're gonna do while we're waiting for the server to come back on. So thanks everybody for joining, and I hope to see you next time pretty soon, hopefully in an hour.